All right, here we go, recording another BC and DC. We have a special guest on this episode. As always, this episode is brought to you by The Burn. Please hit up The Burn at 541-241-6598. And this is the second interview with my daughter. And today we're doing a Christmas special. We're going to do a few songs that Avery wants to perform for you guys. Mm-hmm. And and then if that goes too long, we'll make it a two-parter and talk about Christmas as well. So without any further ado, this is my daughter, Avery, and she is now 8 years old. Yay. In the second grade. And, well, I guess we can just start right in, right? Uh-huh. Do you want to start in with songs, or do you want to start in with the questions?
I think we should start with the questions.
The questions. All right, so should we get rid of the intro music and go right to the questions, or kind of keep that rolling? What do you think? Until you're ready to sing.
I think we should just do the questions without the music.
All right, so you're ready to pause the music. All right, here we go, Avery. So, Christmas. We got a few questions here. Mm-hmm. The first one is, what does Avery think the meaning of Christmas is?
The meaning of Christmas is to get together with family. It's not all about presents. Some kids think that it's all about presents, especially little kids. Mm-hmm. But really, it's just about being with your family and just, yeah.
Do you think it's better to receive gifts or to give them?
It's better to give gifts than people giving you gifts.
Yeah, it feels better to give someone a gift, huh?
Because it makes you feel good and it makes them feel good. And it's also kind of like the saying that my teacher says, and the saying is, and also my champions teacher, not just my regular teacher too. They say, treat other people how you want to be treated. Because sometimes if you treat other people good, they treat you good.
Yeah, that's a good golden rule. It's one of those best rules we can think of, is to always treat others how we want to be treated. And that's how we can usually be better people in life, is to kind of show that respect. Okay, that's great, sweetie. I love that answer.
Then it's not about presents.
Yeah, it's not really about presents. No, you're right.
It's about being with family and just having... And it's also kind of just like to be off with your family for the holidays. Yeah,
that's nice. To spend more time and do fun stuff.
Because a lot of people have to go to school and work.
That sounds like Jack's footprints, huh?
Yeah. That's definitely Jack, because he has a very large sounding footstep.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
We can hear from all the way down here.
What are your favorite things to do at Christmas?
Probably my favorite things to do are probably give people presents and decorate the house and decorate the tree, and probably just, especially at school when we do Christmas stuff, I'm really excited for that, because we only do that when it's close to the holidays, and if it's not close to a holiday, then we just do regular school work.
Yeah.
And definitely doing like holiday work at school is definitely much more fun than just doing regular school work.
Right. But like around Christmas, what are your favorite things to do? Do you like to do, what are your favorite things? Like, do you like to make cookies, or do you?
I like to make cookies. I like to decorate the house. I like to decorate the Christmas tree especially. Yeah. And
do you like to do, oh, sorry.
And I also, sometimes, you know, me and you get the Christmas tree together, and I also like, and about that I like to, because sometimes I pick out the tree.
Yeah, you have for the past couple of years. Yeah. This year you didn't. Sorry about that. But you got to pick out the colors, huh? I mean, we picked them out for you in a sense, but you told us what to get. But do you like how Mom sets up music and you guys decorate? Is that one of your favorite things?
That's definitely one of my favorite things about decorating.
What about this year? What is kind of new that I noticed? There's a certain thing that you were just talking about on the the car ride from Champions. Do you remember what that was? He keeps moving around.
No.
He's little, and he keeps moving around the house.
The elf.
Uh-huh. Do you like that?
Mm-hmm. And I got it from a garage sale.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people that have elves say they have magical powers and they go to life at night. But the thing is about them
Mm-hmm.
is that if you touch them, they lose all of their power and they can't move from that one spot unless you carry them. So if you touch them just once, then they can't move, and they're just toys again.
So do they only come to life around Christmas time, or?
Well, the one thing is that, well, yeah, they do, like on the Christmas calendar, when the Christmas calendar starts,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they start.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Even though our elf didn't start until we started, like, doing the Christmas calendar, because we kind of got it late.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 5 chocolate kisses in one day.
Right, off the Advent calendar. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because we were quite a bit late for the calendar. And the kind of thing about the elf with that is that it only moved the day after we actually were doing the calendar.
Yeah,
So I think
that.
it depends when you start on the calendar, that's when it starts moving. But also, it leaves on Christmas, and then it doesn't come until next year. So it's just completely gone out of the house.
The elf itself?
Yes.
Like it disappears?
It's just gone, and it goes to the North Pole.
Wow. That's pretty
All
cool.
of the elves do that, so everyone gets lonely from their elf.
Huh. So do you think the other times of the year are the elf, are they the ones that are up there making toys? Are those the same ones? Or are they different elves?
Well, they do have to turn human, probably, like bigger.
You think
Because
so?
if they're like this small, then they can't make a toy that's like this big. You know, because that's like way bigger than them. So I think what they do at night
Well,
is
maybe they make the smaller ones. Maybe there's different size elves and make different size toys. It could be. And speaking of that, so the North Pole, what do you think like Santa and like Mrs. Claus do? We already know the elves build a lot of toys and stuff.
Yeah.
But what else do you think they do? What do you think they eat up there? So go ahead and answer some of those if you want, and we'll kind of I'll go back through them again.
Yeah, but probably everyone knows that the elves make toys because,
Yeah, most everyone knows that.
that's the only thing that we can think about. Because Santa like brings toys, and the elves are like the main thing besides Santa and Miss Claus.
And the reindeer.
Yeah.
I don't know, does Frosty live up there, do you think? Frosty the Snowman? Does he live up there at the North Pole?
Yeah, because there is a store where Frosty the Snowman takes a kid and they fly in the air, and all the other snowmen do. And I think that's what they do when they go to the North Pole. And I think I haven't really planned out what the snowman do.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I'm thinking the snowman like maybe take care of the reindeer.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe.
Could be.
Like they kind of just like Miss Claus bring them the food, and then they just bring it to the reindeer. Probably is what I'm thinking.
Okay. What do you think Mrs. Claus and Santa do up there?
And yeah. I think Santa like has to look at the list from Naughty and Nice.
And check it twice.
That's actually one of the songs I'm going to be singing.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I interrupted you. So what else does Santa do besides checking his list? What do you think?
He, well, the elves give him the presents all wrapped and stuff, and then he puts them in the sleigh. But if they're really heavy, then some of the elves help. And also, just a thing, I think a couple elves come along with Santa when it's Christmas night.
You do?
Like, they go on the sleigh.
Like they help him out with stuff?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So what do you think Mrs. Claus does up there?
Mrs. Claus, I feel like she's kind of like a baker kind of thing.
Yeah?
Because I feel like she wears kind of like an apron. I feel like since her clothes look like she kind of has like an apron, I feel like she's just like, I feel like it's like a hint, like she's like a baker or something.
I think she's a baker. All right.
So I think she makes all the food for Santa and
Maybe
the elves.
Yeah.
And she probably makes the food for the snowman. What I'm thinking that she does for the snowman, because snowmen probably don't eat regular food. Probably the snowman bring her like, well, she probably brings a plate to them. And then they go outside and collect some snow, and then they bring it back to her on the plate, and then she makes snow food.
Wow. All right. That could be. Who do you think works on the sleigh? Who do you think keeps that thing up and running and maintained and ready to go for Christmas? Do you think that's Santa's job or Mrs. Claus or?
Well, Mrs. Claus doesn't seem like the person. The reindeer, the snowman don't seem like that either.
Not so much, huh?
The elves, I think that's a pretty busy job already to just make, because they probably have to make like more than 1 million toys.
Right.
So that's a bigger job than
It's
doing
a very
it.
big job.
Yeah.
So who do you think keeps care of the sleigh then? Who do you think
I
maintains
think
that?
it's like Santa,
Yeah?
but I think a couple elves, I think the elves have like a amount of toys that they're supposed to make, really. And I think they have like cards for what toy they're supposed to make, so they know like how they're molding it and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have amount of toys, and I think Santa gives a couple of them, just a couple, like probably like 20, and the rest have like 50.
So they have like other jobs besides making toys.
And then like those couple elves come help Santa do the sleigh work.
Sorry, sweetie.
What?
Just a spider. It was a spider coming down and I smacked
Mom
it.
would hate that.
Yeah, no, she would have screamed. Mm-hmm. All right, so it looks like we're about 12 minutes in, so maybe we should stop this recording and come back. Don't rub that. That makes some weird sounds. Or unless there's something else you want to talk about Christmas real quick.
Well, do we have any more questions?
There's no more questions on the list.
Wait, isn't there though?
That's it.
What do they?
Well, we asked what do they eat? What do you think they eat up there? I guess that's the only other question.
Well, I think I know what Santa eats mostly.
Make sure you're talking to that microphone too.
I think I know what Santa eats mostly
What
because.
do you think Santa eats? Cause he's.
No.
What?
I think he just looks like that because he wants to just like.
So you think he's like fast, athletic? You think he can run and stuff?
He could probably run a little bit. I don't think he can run like as much as probably like a lot of people can run.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably like sometimes like he's kind of like me because. Well, he might be because when I eat, like a lot, like, for example, like once I eat lunch and then if we go to recess right after, then I kind of like, just like, I don't want to run.
Huh.
Like,
yeah,
because like sometimes my friends just like go running out in the field. I'm just like, wait.
Right, yeah, you gotta take time to digest your food. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like, we only have like, I don't know, like a half an hour to... Yeah. And then we have like a recess again.
Right. All right, sweetie. So we're at 14 minutes. So I think this would be a good time to stop the video. We can keep recording on the podcast, and then we'll make the video a two-parter for your YouTube stuff. How's that sound? And when we come back, we'll do your songs. So how about you can keep talking about whatever you want right now, and we'll keep going on the podcast, and we'll just stop.